Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Casinopolis is a brand new 18-card game from Button Shy Games. It's in the Sprawlopolis kind of universe, spin-off, however you want to word it. But in this one, you are going to be building a casino, but it's going to be in the same kind of style. So you're going to have an 18-card deck. 3 of those cards randomly will be assigned, flipped over, and it'll have like kind of scoring on it. So there are tons of combinations of different scoring, which really adds to the replayability. What you're doing on a turn will be the same, whether you're playing this game or that game, but the different ways you're going to interconnect the cards, the synapses are going off in your head. How you're going to be changing these things up will all be dictated by those random 3 scoring cards that you're going to have. That creates a ton of replayability, especially with a game with just 18 cards. On your turn, let me start this. You can say play cooperatively or solo, with the only difference in how you draft the cards and different people playing down. To me, I prefer this game more as a solo experience than a cooperative game. You'll be drawing a card, playing a card, drawing a card, playing a card. But in that aspect of playing that card, you're going to have a ton of options. Where am I going to play it? Well, now you're not going to know every card you're going to have in the order that's going to come out. You may not even be able to memorize what cards are in the deck. So you're tactically dealing with what cards do I have? How can I best play these? How can I score that out? Being that it can be played solo, you can take as much time to kind of play with that as you want to. There's always going to be the negative scoring for the roads, and there's going to be scoring for getting the biggest casinos, etc. So those decisions are always going to go in. But playing to how the game scores, and the scoring cards are going to have numbers on them, and you have to be larger. Your points have to be larger than the sum of those cards. So it's always this unique puzzle of not only building my casino and how it's going to look and how it's going to play out, but how am I going to score that as opposed to the difficulty of the cards that came out. And I find that to be a very fun, fascinating puzzle. The game is very travel friendly. I can put it in my front pocket and I can leave and I can play this nearly anywhere. You know, if you're sitting down, you're having lunch or dinner by yourself and you want to fiddle with a game, or you're watching a football game on TV, I can simply put this down almost like solitaire and play it over and over and over again and try to beat my scores while I'm having that mind puzzle going on. I like this series that they bring out. I kind of like the casino theme the best, I think. I like matching up those icons as you're going through. This one really worked for me. It's going to be a keeper. Here are the components for Casinopolis. With all of these games in the button shot, you're going to get 18 cards, and they're going to use every square inch of this. So one side will be the scoring and give you a bunch of information you're going to need over here. And then on this side, you are going to have the game that you'll actually be playing. So you can see that the 18 cards, that's all you need for a game like this, and the cards are good quality. It'll be right in with what your other button shy games are like. The rules for Casinopolis are pretty straightforward. If you pick Sprawlopolis or the other games in the line, it's going to be very similar with a few changes that you're going to have in here. You probably need about 5, maybe 10 minutes to get through the rule book. You'll be fine as you're going through it. Pretty simple game. There's a cooperative mode and there's a solo mode with this one, so you can play both. Both are fairly easy and play almost exactly alike. For the solo game, what's going to happen is the first player is going to have 3 cards, the next player will have 1, and this player will have 1. You will play one of your cards out, you will then pass 2 to the next player, and then you will draw a card. When this player plays a card, whatever they're going to do, they're going to go ahead and send over their 2, and you will do that. Now, the cards will be hidden. You're not allowed to tell people, you're not allowed to show people the card, but you are allowed to tell them about the card. I'm not a big fan of that rule. I just go ahead and, it is what it is. I can sit there and describe it or just show it to you. So we just kind of show them that limited communication, but that's what that's going to be. With the solo game, you're going to have 3 cards. You're simply going to play a card and then draw another card. So that's the big difference between the solo and the cooperative play. When the game starts, you are going to shuffle up the deck, and you're going to pull out 3 cards that will kind of be the scoring cards for the round. You're going to add up these cards for each of these, and that's going to be the number that you're trying to beat. Otherwise, it's going to tell you how to score. That means these 3 cards will be taken out of the game. So each time you play, there's all kinds of different combinations you can have of how to score and how to play, and then what cards will no longer be in the deck. So you're going to have your 3 cards. You will simply play a card down and then draw back up in the solo game. Now, you can't play cards diagonal, etc. You can cover up things on the board. That's a legitimate move, and then draw back up. I'm not really playing to score a ton of points here, but just illustrating what you can do. Very simple. Draw a card, and then play a card. The game is all about scoring. So these scoring cards will have different ways for you to score. At the end of the game, it tells you how many victory points they're worth and how you're going to score those. In addition, so you have 3 of these unique each time. You're also going to score the largest casino. So you see here yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red, the biggest red I have is 1, and the biggest blue I have is 1. So it wasn't very strategic. If I did something like this, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 for yellow. My biggest red's 1, 2, 3, blue. You're also going to have icons. So when icons match up, you can get bonus scoring for that. If you can get enough of these in a row, you need at least 3. So if I have something like this, 1, 2, 3, those icons would score right there. For your roads, you're going to have negative points for each road you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you add up, seeing if you beat the score that you have on top. Don't forget, each of these cards are going to score a little bit differently. Just to give you an example, find your longest road, longest column, cherry icons, and diamond icons. You get points for casino with at least 4 luck, so you don't want any of these luck charms. Unique icon, any Egyptian. And so there's a whole bunch. Roads with at least 2 turns. There's all kinds of ways you can score through this and as you go through it. So it's very fun how you're building your casinos up. You don't really have to match the colors per se, but you will get more points for that. You need to keep track of how you're going to be scoring here. The larger numbers that you need to be able to score above in order to win or lose. And then the roads, you want to kind of manage the roads. You don't want to have too many because those are going to be negative points. That's a quick overview of how you play Casinopolis. Who should play this game? If you haven't played the other 2 in the series, this would be a great jumping on point. I think building a casino is very familiar with people. It's kind of fun. Even though it's icons and it's very abstract as you're going through it, I think that it's very fun to kind of jump in and build this casino up that you're doing. It has 3 or 4 different ways to score, which kind of tickles my brain and keeps that going. And it's very simple. I can travel with this when we go on trips, etc. This can easily go with me in my pack of button shy games I always travel with. This one will be thrown right in. It's probably my favorite of the series. I like getting the icons in a row and that puzzle of trying to make it the largest yellow, red, blue rooms. But I like how you're also trying to get those icons. I don't know why, that just kind of clicks with me. This is a really fun one. If you haven't played anything else in the series, jump on board on this one. Keeper for us.